My son wanted to be a nurse, and my husband said that's a woman's job. I was folding laundry when my son Caleb announced he wanted to be a pediatric nurse. He'd been volunteering at the Children's Hospital for months, reading to sick kids and helping families navigate the scary hallways. His eyes lit up talking about comforting frightened toddlers and teaching parents how to care for their babies. I smiled, proud of his compassion, but my husband Richard dropped his coffee mug. The ceramic shattered across our kitchen floor as he stared at our 16-year-old son in horror. Nursing is women's work, Richard said coldly, not even bothering to clean up the mess. Real men become doctors, lawyers, engineers. They don't empty bedpans and take orders from female supervisors. Caleb's face flushed red as his father continued the attack. What are your friends going to think? What am I supposed to tell people when they ask about your career plans? My son wants to be a glorified maid. Richard's voice dripped with disgust as he looked at Caleb like he'd announced plans to join the circus. But Caleb stood his ground, his voice shaking with emotion. Nurses save lives every day. They're the ones who actually spend time with patients, who notice when something's wrong, who provide comfort when people are scared and hurting. Richard laughed bitterly and shook his head. You sound like a greeting card. Medicine is about science and leadership, not feelings and hand-holding. Nurses are just doctor assistants who couldn't handle real medical school. Therefore, I watched my husband systematically destroy our son's dreams over the following months. He threw away Caleb's nursing school brochures, canceled his volunteer shifts without permission, and refused to sign forms for advanced biology classes. You're not wasting our money on a degree that leads nowhere, Richard declared. He pushed business school applications instead, promising a car if Caleb chose finance over healthcare. Every family dinner became a battlefield over Caleb's future. The breaking point came during our neighborhood pool party in July. Kids were splashing in the shallow end while parents chatted poolside, drinks in hand. Mrs. Chen's 4-year-old daughter Lily was playing with water wings when they suddenly slipped off. She went under fast, her little arms flailing as she sank toward the deep end. Adults screamed and pointed, but everyone froze in panic. Everyone except Caleb, who dove in fully clothed without hesitation. But watching what happened next changed everything. Caleb pulled Lily's unconscious body from the water with perfect technique, immediately checking for breathing and pulse. When he found neither, he started CPR without missing a beat. Chest compressions at exactly the right depth and speed, rescue breaths delivered with professional precision. His hands moved with confidence I'd never seen before, counting compressions aloud while Mrs. Chen sobbed helplessly nearby. After 3 minutes that felt like hours, Lily coughed up pool water and started crying, the most beautiful sound any of us had ever heard. Caleb held her carefully, checking her airway and monitoring her breathing until paramedics arrived. He gave them a detailed report using medical terminology I didn't know he'd learned. His volunteer work had taught him emergency response skills that most adults never acquire. He'd saved a child's life with knowledge and training his father had called worthless. Therefore, Richard stood speechless as neighbors praised Caleb's heroism. Parents hugged our son, thanking him for saving their friend's daughter. The paramedics complimented his technique and asked where he'd learned CPR. When Caleb mentioned his hospital volunteering and nursing school goals, they nodded approvingly. The medical field needs more people like you, the lead EMT said. Nursing is one of the most important jobs in healthcare. That night, Richard found Caleb in his room researching pediatric nursing programs. Instead of criticism, he sat down quietly on the bed. I was wrong, he said simply. What you did today took incredible skill and courage. I don't understand nursing, but I understand that you saved a life when trained adults couldn't act. His voice cracked with emotion as he continued. I'm proud of you, and I'm sorry I tried to change who you are. 6 months later, Richard drove Caleb to tour nursing schools and bragged to everyone about his son's heroic pool rescue. He learned that male nurses earn the same salaries as many business graduates and work in high-stress environments requiring quick thinking and physical strength. When Caleb graduated with honors from nursing school, Richard was front row cheering. He finally understood that caring for others isn't weakness. It's the ultimate expression of human strength.